friends. It's school time for these little ones, but for me, I'm on my way out of town today. Gonna hit the road. Goodbyes are always sad. I have to take off a little early, actually several days early from this trip. It's awesome to see my longtime friends again. Always fun, always fun. Some of the best adventures of my entire life have been with these guys. I love you all. I hate leaving. Right out in front of the lighthouse is the National Historic Landmark plaque. Set here in 1998, another National Historic Landmark plaque. There's a warning sign here for climbing the 248 spiral steps, saying it's like a 12-story building, and if you're weak at heart, this may not be an adventure for you. As it turns, it's not going to be an adventure for any of us, because all of the state-owned lighthouses are closed to the public right now. It's really hard to get a perspective of the size of these lighthouses, especially this one. This is the tallest lighthouse in North Carolina. It might be one of the tallest anywhere. It's got to be one of the tallest anywhere. A lot of history in this lighthouse. Well, good news, friends. The lighthouse is closed, but the gift shop is still open, and it's part of the museum, which is where the lighthouse keepers lived. It's a very interesting building. They say that it's haunted in here, and definitely some haunted stories about the lighthouse itself, but I'll try to learn a little bit more about this. Friends, I'm here with Mike. He's a volunteer at Cape Hatteras. Mike, I got some questions for you. I want to know a little bit about the history of the lighthouse. I hear there's some spooky things and a history of it being moved. Why was it moved? There's all kinds of things I want to know about this. I've been here a few times, but enlighten us all, will you?
Sure. The lighthouse was built, this lighthouse was built in 1870, and it replaced a shorter one that was built in 1803. The lighthouse was originally built about a half a mile toward the ocean from here. In 1870, as I said, it was moved because the ocean was encroaching and the beach erosion was getting closer and closer to the lighthouse. So in 1999, a company from Buffalo called Industrial Chimney came and won the contract, and they moved this lighthouse, the whole lighthouse, about a half a mile. And these two houses, the keepers' houses, were also moved at the same time.
I've seen some photos of that. It's incredible.
Yeah, they basically removed it from its foundation and put it on hydraulic jacks on what was essentially a flatbed railroad car, and moved it. It took 23 days to move it about that half mile. Very slow move.
Wow, that's a slow move.
Yeah, about a year of prep work, but then about 23 days to move it.
So the house that we're standing in front of right now is what is this used for now?
This is the museum of the city. It has some exhibits about the area and about the lighthouse.
Okay.
When it was built, it was originally for the assistant keepers. There were 2 or 3 assistant lighthouse keepers, and they would live here with their families. The smaller house next to us here was the head keeper's house, where he and his family would live, and that's now used for park quarters for the rangers.
Cool. Very interesting. Can you tell me some kind of a spooky story about the lighthouse?
A spooky story?
Yeah, I hear it's haunted.
Yeah, there's always been those stories. People, where there's no climbing this year because of the COVID, so people can't go in. But people who do come in, people who had climbed it in past years talk about things that they've seen.
Any personal experiences?
I've never had a personal experience with a ghost or anything inside the lighthouse. No.
Well, there's, maybe it's all, false, guys.
Could be.
Maybe it's just.
I'm hoping. Maybe one day.
Hey, thanks for your time.
No
I
problem.
appreciate it.
Oh, sure.
Cool place. So this is a pretty cool museum in here. And a rendition of all the lighthouses. Two more down there at the bottom. I think I need one of those for the sailboat. This original style of beach driving there. Oh. Something tells me you didn't want to mess with these guys. Friends, you hear me talk about the National Parks Passport book all the time. It's taken me to some of the coolest places that I never knew existed for years now, 10 or more years. I got that book right here in this museum the first time I came to the Outer Banks. I have not regretted it. If people ask, what's the best investment you ever made? Besides my lifetime subscription to Sirius satellite radio, it is the National Parks Passport book. And probably not in that order. It's probably the National Parks Passport book first, because you just can't replace all of these cool adventures. And it really got me motivated to check out some off the beaten path historical locations that are just very memorable, like this one. Thanks for joining me today, friends, at the Cape Hatteras Lighthouse. We have 2 more lighthouses to go before we make our way back to St. Petersburg, Florida. If you like what you're seeing here, hit subscribe, hit like, and hit that notification button. I'll see you in the next video.